Sup guys, so here's an update on the current runes, masteries, and build that I've been using with much success. So for runes, I go Magic Pen Quints, Magic Pen Blues, Health per level Yellows, and AD Reds. So if you've been a long time viewer of mine, you'd know that I've always been a fan of Magic Pen, because it scales great as you level, guarantees you more damage when the enemy has extra MR, and takes advantage of good base damage. I also wanted to keep the AD Reds because I still feel like AD is super strong for your combos early game. Also, not having any AP in the page is okay, because you get AP from Darkseal and Masteries anyway. So you basically get a little bit of everything, but with extra bit of Magic Pen. Even without the extra AP and runes, Magic Pen still provides you with good damage early in combination with the AD, so I have no trouble dealing damage in my combos during laning phase. For the Masteries, I switched up a few things. I get Feast because I like to sustain in lane. The amount you heal is pretty noticeable over time, and it's helpful when you're constantly trading with your laner. I think outsustaining your opponent is one of Katarina's specialties in lane, especially with Darkseal pots and the buffed regen. I also go 1 point into Vampirism and 4 points into Natural Talent. Putting 1 point into Vampirism is useful because, as stated by Apto himself, the amount of healings you get from Lifesteal and Spell Vamp stacks as you use your spells and autos in lane, keeping you that much more healthier. I only put 1 point though, because having that early AD and AP is very beneficial on Cat specifically, but having that innate sustain is beneficial in laning for any mid laner. I also decided to go Bounty Hunter instead of Battle Trance. Yeah, Bounty Hunter doesn't give you more damage early unless you kill something, but just the fact that you can end up with 7.5% extra damage is really good, especially when going into mid to late game. I find myself always getting a lot of kills on Cat, so it's pretty easy getting that 7.5% cap. Your core items plus a very possible 7.5% increased damage is pretty insane. Now I want to talk about a solid item that I've been building very frequently, and that is Hextech Gunblade. I know I didn't state this item in my previous guide, but let me explain. I always used to say the build path was awkward for Gunblade, but it's actually really good. I aim to get 2 Amp Tomes and 2 Longswords for laning. Reason being is because you get a good cheap mix of AP and AD stats that'll benefit your damage greatly early game. I never liked building into Bilgewater Cutlass because it's 1500 gold, but it's actually really doable if you get the 2 Longswords first, finish Revolver, then into Cutlass because it's only 800 gold at that point. And also, Revolver and Cutlass are also good items in 1v1s. Comparing it to Rallies, the sub items for Rallies is pretty expensive. I find myself being stuck with Amp Tome and Giant's Belt, struggling to finish that needlessly large rod when I don't win my lane hard. Gunblade seems to be the better option for snowballing lane because of the raw damage it gives. The active is also really useful for picking people off and 1v1ing. The range of it is great and it surprisingly does a lot of damage. The heal is also nice to have. You can't really say anything bad about the healing since it's a good plus. Katarina already greatly benefits from the stats and the active the Gunblade offers. So the most effective way I've been using Gunblade is to purely outdamage your enemy laner in trades and 1v1s, and use the active on Gunblade to continue your snowballing. After that, the build is situational, so check out my previous guide to get an idea of what to build next.